Hi, Bill Henshaw here again, your walking constitution. And as I said in some other videos, a lot of exciting things going on here. The next one we have is dead bang proof of treason in the United States Supreme Court. This looks like by a clerk of court. I can't imagine the justices, especially given the last two terms and the way they're headed back toward original intent, would be doing this. By the clerk of court returning a Rule 22 petition, the emergency petition I helped a friend prepare for her son. It's a long story about the case, but we have great issues to have gotten to the court to get them to summarily reverse the whole thing. And this for Rule 22 reads, that the petition shall be received by the clerk who will file it and promptly transmit to the justice to whom it was addressed the copies. This is not optional. Yet my friend gets this back in the space of 6 days over a holiday weekend, but Labor Day weekend. And even if the justices were in session, they never saw it. This is the kind of bullshit that has to stop, John Roberts. It comes back to your doorstep. If you're telling the clerk to do this, that's even a bigger problem. I can't believe that. If he's doing it on his own, he's doing it because he thinks under Rule 1 of the Supreme Court that he can send back documents as he did to my good friend Adam, who wrote the best petition I've ever seen going there, 160 pages, and it got returned without the justices even seeing it because it was not in quote unquote in conformance with the rules. The clerk doesn't have judicial discretion like that. In both cases, he's exercising the judicial power of the United States without having been appointed by the president or being confirmed by the Senate. And there's some very interesting stories and objections on both of those issues. By the way, to find out exactly what I do and how I do it, email me, youwinnincourt@gmail.com. I'll get back to you with some goodies on my materials. You're going to love it. But that said, this may even make the 6 o'clock news. And I can prove a hell of a lot more corruption in just about every jurisdiction in the country than this, maybe based on what's going on at the Supreme Court with an emergency petition. So we still have yet to figure out a clear way to get documents to any of the justices, let alone Chief Justice John Roberts. If any of you out there know, let me know. Email me, youwinnincourt@gmail.com. I would love to hear it. In an earlier era, when I lived in Washington, D.C., or right outside there, that's where I got educated and didn't learn a damn thing of what I've learned over the course of the last 40 years. I could get down to the court, bus, shuttle, whatever, and walk in there and do my best to get it to the justices. That's a much different situation. But with this clerk doing this, I mean, this is treason, and there are serious penalties for that. It has to stop. So we will see what develops. I'll keep you posted in upcoming videos on this. But it's mega important because it reflects all the treason going on in your local jurisdictions, where they won't file documents and you get them back, or they received them. And by the way, received is not filed. It's not formally before the court. The clerk doesn't have any authority to do that either. And here's a dead bang quote, by the way, from the U.S. Supreme Court on this subject matter. The Constitution gave to each person a right to present their case to the court of the nation, no matter how small the claim nor how little interest the community in its outcome. The framers of our Constitution thought it important in the interest of justice to create a tribunal as superior to influence in which that claim might be decided. What's happened in the last 200 years? People say, oh, that's old law. They don't use it anymore. The hell they don't. The Supreme Court itself has referred to this case a couple of times in the last couple of years, especially the case of Texas v. California. And I'll talk more about that later, but if they understand Cohen, they know exactly what's going on. And what looks like a two-justice dissent by Alito and Thomas is really at least 5 or 6 of them. They told the Trump appointees, for whatever reason, to stand down on this case. I don't know why. Barbara's is kind of a quasi-conservative liberal at times, and we might be picking up Elena Kagan on a couple of cases too. We don't know. We don't need her, but we don't know about that. But it's exciting times. They're acting like a judicial court for the first time in 90 years. We have a real chance here to invoke our rights and get our Constitution back, get our government back. No one's saying it was perfect, but it's only the best government ever created. And we can move ahead from there and make changes consistent with the Constitution, not in contravention of it. That's how exciting this is. For more information, send me an email, youwinnincourt@gmail.com, and I'll send you information on the goodies I have and how inexpensive they are. You're going to love every bit of it, because you can get out there, do the same thing, teach your children and your posterity how to do it. And that helps cut out all this divide and conquer BS they've been doing for the last 150 years. And the quicker we do that, the quicker we get them off our backs. Thank you.